Alright then, welcome to another Mac Trains, and today, well, I'm talking about stuff you already know, but I thought it's just worth putting it together because, well, recently I've been updating the TT120 Resource Hub with all the stuff we've had recently, and it usually takes me 5-10 minutes. It's taken me all morning. There's so much stuff that's come out since I last did an update, and when you put it all together, you cannot avoid the impression of momentum building up behind this scale. It really is difficult to avoid. So I thought I would just use this video as a highlight, as an opportunity to highlight the things that have been added, to encourage use of the site, to appeal for things that I've missed, because I'm sure that a few things in my head I've missed something. So whatever it is, I'm sure you'll let me know, drop in the comments and I'll add it in as soon as I can. So TT120 Resource Hub set up a number of months ago. TT120 Resource Hub.mobilisesite.com. Lovely catchy title, but there's reasons for that. But anyway, we've added in quite a lot of stuff. So what have we got? What's our latest news? Well, the new stuff from Hornby, of course, the April announcement. Terriers available now, or at least available to pre-order now. We've got the 3 liveries, Southern Railway, BR, and the LBSCR, London, Brighton and South Coast. So they're available. That's not a small thing, that's a huge thing. They look fantastic models. What we've seen so far, the amount of metalwork in them is going to make them really appealing, I think, to a lot of modelers. Alongside that, we had, really at the other end of the scale, no pun intended, the branch line freight train set. This is a starter set from Hornby, hitting below £100. And I think that really, to me, makes it the standout in many ways. Not that the other stuff isn't better. It is. The Terriers will be a better loco. But that price point is remarkable for this day and age to get a whole train set of new tooled stuff and a very credible little loco. The wagons, I think, they're what they are. They're more fanciful than factual, but they're there. They still have to produce them, and no doubt to the same standard. So that looks really good. The branch line set, I think, is going to be a huge success for Hornby. If you haven't, do order one. If you know someone who's on the fence at all, get them to order one. They'll pick one up for less than £90 at the retailers. There's links, of course, to all these things on the Resource Hub, but also I'll probably stick a few links down below. But this is one that should give us an opportunity to trumpet the scale, and that's the intention. Along with that, of course, you had the 4-wheel coaches for the Terriers, again in all 3 liveries, and multiple toolings or tooling variations within that. I think there was the first class, first class, third class brakes, and then baggage brakes as well. Again in 3 liveries. That looks to be a really appealing little suburban train runaround. When you've got that paired with the Terriers, off you go. That's going to appear in a lot of little layouts. I will be astonished if it doesn't. So really well done, well thought through, I think, for Hornby as far as that's concerned. They've also brought triple packs to TT120. I say this is stuff you know, but we're just putting it together to see how much that is of a heap there. Triple packs, you've got the triple packs for the TTAs, the HAAs, and the 12-ton tankers. All in refreshed liveries, at least maybe not the hoppers, but the other ones in new liveries. Royal Daylight for triples. There's a new Fina 12-ton livery out to buy it individually as well, the 12-ton. And these are much better runners than when they first came out. They improved that substantially with the last refresh, so they're worth getting. They really need to get more rolling stock out. I think this is an area where they're struggling to meet demand, is the truth, and they're struggling to get the capacity in their production cycles and slots to meet that demand. More liveries for the HSTs. You've got the Virgin and was it the GNER, I want to say? But you've got 2 new liveries for the HSTs, which are accompanied by the whole rake on suite of updated livery coaches as well. So that's a huge commitment in terms of production cycles for these things. HSTs are just brilliant locos, brilliant runners, really sure-footed, and really solid in terms of their performance and pulling power. You can get prototypical length trains running around without any great difficulty. And now you've even got the consisting that's just come out finally. Took a wee while. We got the consisting on the app for those who are running HM7000, and that's just ideal for the HST. Sound chip on each side, brilliant, brilliant sort of solution. So for those who use HM7000, definitely worth. They've even got an HM7000 sale on, at least at the time I'm recording this, which is for some things 50% off. Huge sale. Definitely go and have a look at that. The Next 18 chip, which is the one that concerns us for TT120, that's on 50% off. Plus, for those of you who might want to go that route, the dongle is also half price. There are other bits and bobs as well, but these are the main standouts. So definitely take a look at that. We're waiting on things coming out there still. We're waiting on the reverse loop module. We're waiting on the non-sound chips, particularly the 6-pin, because that J50 and that Terrier is going to need it. The 08 already needs it. So come on, let's get the 6-pin out the door. The new BR Blue 08, that's also been announced. Folk are going to be chuffed to bits to see the Blue 08 back. And that needs a 6-pin too. So all this stuff is coming out. A new IFA, I think it was Guest, I don't know how you say that, but they're out now as well, or again, available for pre-order. So keep an eye on these things dropping in. But it's not just Hornby. That's just a very quick rundown. It's not just Hornby. We now have other manufacturers piling in. And top of the heap, we've got Heljan. Just, wow. There's loads of high quality stuff out in TT120, and Heljan look like they're going to match it. They have to. They can't afford their first step into this market to be anything other than at least the same standard as Hornby stuff, and I wouldn't be surprised with that aiming higher. Whether they manage that or not, time alone will tell. So we're not here to say automatically everything that's announced is going to be superb, but it does look superb. The Deltics, didn't see the Deltics coming, got to be honest. Did not see the Deltics, but I am most excited about the wee Class 122. I think that's a really clever move. If they can manage to pull that off, there is the issue of them being not currently compatible with HM7000. So 2 things would have to happen, or one of 2 things. Either Hornby produce a chip to match, which is, at least in the short term, very unlikely. I would say that's not happening anytime soon. You could try, but or Heljan are going to change course and make it compatible. That's not happening either. As far as I can see, we're going to have to accept this. The scale's growing. This is the most important thing to focus on. Some who really want HM7000 to operate it, they'll find a way. There'll be a way. Possibly TMC will manage to find some way. Some tinkerers will find some way. It's not going to be easy, but there'll be some solution out there, some alternative. Depending on how much you want to risk hacking away at your new loco. Pricing isn't bad actually. Never quite sure with Heljan's pricing what's going to come out. It's higher than Hornby, but it's not so high as to be uncompetitive, I don't think. So you're 189 currently until the end of the year, 199 from the new year, from December onwards, I think. So until maybe the start of December, 189 for early pre-orders. So worth getting that. At the retailers, you've got the usual discount, so you're down to 160 something, I think, at most of the retailers. So that makes it certainly compatible. At the retailer price then becomes about what the Hornby retail price is. The retailer's discounted price, I say, becomes about the RRP for the Hornby stuff. So it's 10-15% more, which is enough. Whether it'll be 10-15% better, time will tell. Time will tell. But to have an addition, to have another manufacturer, especially because Heljan started and stopped, we didn't really expect them to come back into it. So well done, Heljan, for still seeing the potential of the scale and not letting past disappointments, which I'm sure it was, past disappointments put them off permanently. So Heljan out here as well. That's not it. That's not all, I should say. You've got, what have you got? You've got wagons galore. I mean, wagons are coming out our ears. It's just, Pico, I suspect, could never have imagined when they started their 7-plankers that they were going to get anything like the number of commissions they've got from it. They have made their cash cow out of that tooling. So you've got, Malk's models have got 2 options of twin packs. I forget what the 2 are. You've got the Stanton double pack, and there's another double pack as well. These are all with, I think, the new spoked wheels and the newer couplings with the more flexible couplings with the tails to allow a better experience in terms of running and less derailment. So all of them are all these ones are the same. So you've got the Malk's models. You've also got Peachy, of course, Peachy number 2, Content Merchant. That's out there now. I think TMC also commissioned, was it the Whitby Brewery or something like that? So that's there. Buggle Skelly, good old man, getting in there. He's got some tremendous stuff. Worth a look at his stuff. But he's now commissioned a wagon that's expected in October. Buggle Skelly Limited. Quarry owners, tar macadam manufacturers. That's on his thing. So definitely, you know, give them an encourage. These folk who are dipping their toe in this direction, it's good to encourage them. But that's still not all. Colonel wagons, they're also joining up with a Guildford Franks and Co, I think it was, 7-plank wagon. All of this is basically Pico tooling with various liveries applied. Looks good. No complaints at all. So that's a huge array. But that's not all either. You had, now I'm not entirely sure what's happening with it, but you've got Inoxian models who announced a box van pack, and they were very, very well priced, 3D printed stuff. You could add your own coupling finishes and wheels and so on, but they were very, very competitively priced. Now, as of recording, the website link that was working until recently has now got a 404 error, so I'm assuming they're working on something there, but hopefully I'll be back up. So that's another string to the bow. It's another option, particularly when Hornby haven't got theirs out the door. I think that's a clever move by Inoxian. We're still going. We're definitely still going. We've got a bit to go yet. I'm just scrolling through my cheat list in front of me here. So we also have One Size Suits All, the book to tell us all about TT120 from one certain man called Simon Kohler. And I'm sure you've seen at least one of the many interviews that are floating around. Trevor's TT Trains did one. Model Loco got hold of him. Myself and Chris managed to get hold of him. And he was at signing that at Key Model World Live. So the book launch was there. It's out, £20, hardback copy. So this is a nice thing to have. But also I'm really looking forward to it as a read. I think there's going to be some fascinating insights scattered throughout it. So if you're interested in that, again, there's a link on the TT120 Resource Hub, because why wouldn't there be? That's where you'll get all your TT120 information from. Right. Whew. Where are we? Still more to go. Back to Malk's. Malk's have been working away with signalling, with light signalling through Berco. Berco, is it Berco? I think so. So they have now announced 2 twin aspect signals. These are adding to the existing suite of what's out there. These are, I think there's different versions of the common negative, common positive, I forget which one's which, but one of these is HM6010 compatible, which means it's HM7000 compatible if you want to work along these lines. And there's still more. A group I call Marston Models, they're joining in the TT120 fund, just as a dipping their toe in the water just now, but they've got a Southern Railways Fogman, not a frogman, a Fogman's hut, just to sit beside there on your layout. Southern Railways, you'd almost think that there's SR stuff coming out sometime soon. And I know the Southern Railway Pico wagons, they're making some moves now. They're selling better than they used to for some reason. So that's good to see. But there's still more. Stuff that might have been out for a while, but I didn't notice it. I've now added it to the site. Scenic backgrounds from Gagemaster, scale to TT120. Great. They're always high quality stuff from Gagemaster. They were quite an early supporter, in fairness, of TT120. So definitely have a look at them. A website called paintinghistory.co.uk, I think it was. Painting History. You'll find the link on the Resource Hub. They're doing TT120 figures in white metal casts. So maybe not quite the fine detail of who you get from the likes of Model U. But at this scale, frankly, with my eyesight, certainly more than good enough, and painted. Which, again, for those of us who are somewhat challenged in our fine motor skills, that's a good thing. So have a look at them. Again, link is on the hub, on the news section. Enwin's models. Now, what have they added? They've added something as well. I'm sure that they have, but what it is escapes me. Let me see if I should have a link to that somewhere. So they've added quite a number of TT120 options within their line side products. I think it was. Yeah, there were rustic station shelters, little stone huts and so on. So there's a fair bit there. That'll be on the Resource Hub as well. So have a good sprokel round and see what you can find. Where are we now? Lost my place. You see, this is what happens when I start getting ahead of myself. Scenic route models. They've added in a full suite of TT120 scale laser cut kits. So there's quite a number of different buildings available through Scenic route models. Again, that is linked in the TT120 Resource Hub. Just, I think, was there one other thing? Yes. I've also added in a new section which needs further information to fill it out. It's not my information. None of this is my... Resource Hub is just that. It's links to other stuff, other people's stuff. None of it's mine. It's not a sales site. You can't really buy... You can't buy anything. Not you can't really buy. You cannot buy anything here. But it'll give you places to go and find what you need. But because it's that kind of a place, I have, and it was suggested on the Hornby forum, I'm thankful for the suggestion and pointing it out, a service sheets section. So for locals from Hornby, I haven't got them all up yet, haven't tracked them all down, but the ones that are made available, when they are, I will add them to that list. So we've got the A1s, A3s, A4s, 50s and 08s just now. I think the 43s as well. I haven't got the 66s yet, so they're to be added in. Don't think I've got the Duchess either. But we will try to add them all in as we go. So that's new on the site. What else have we been beavering away at? Yes, we've also added in a number of new YouTubers. There's quite a few new YouTubers using TT120 as our main thrust since last we updated. So I've added some of them in. Guys like Anthony Knill, I'm never quite sure how to pronounce that. Anthony, sorry about that. Trevor's TT Trains, he had a great interview with Simon Kohler recently. So there's stuff being added out there all the time, and I'm tired. Having just not gone through it all, I'm trying to update it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it as I usually do. So I thought it was just worth reminding ourselves this has legs, to say the least. And I hope that you find this site useful. There'll be things that aren't there that should be. It is a one-man band doing it with his very obsolete memory equipment. So things that I've forgotten, please drop me a comment or email the channel, gmactrains@gmail.com. Any suggestions you have. Also, I'm very thankful that one of the retailers got in touch to suggest putting a competition page on the Resource Hub to encourage its use and to drive traffic, and also to make a bit of fun, have a bit of fun, and offered to provide a prize for a competition, and maybe other retailers might join in and do the same. So that's hopefully coming. It's not there yet. It's not up. So, you know, if that's the reason you're going, sorry, you'll be disappointed, but it hopefully will be. And I'll let you know, of course, when that gets there. So that says it 1st of May, but wow, April was quite a month, wasn't it? There's not much that more could have been fitted into it, I don't think, unless you have a rather strong crowbar to squeeze something else into April. But we've had a great April. We're now into May. This is moving ahead. I think I've rambled on more than enough. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, do have a look at the TT120 resourcehub.mobilisesite.com, and we'll see how we get on from there. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Comments below, subscribe. Do subscribe. The old, you know, keeps the algorithm ticking over, blah, 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 blah. You know the drill by now. Thank you. Bye for now.